Welcome back to another YouTube video, you guys. It is me, it is Ice, Hasselbeck Randall. And yeah, I'm gonna do a part 2 to the video of how I ended up in Okinawa. And this is just kind of explaining, the last week of my time in Colombia and the first couple of days/weeks in Okinawa, because so much took place. It was just so much happening all at once. I feel like my nervous system when I landed was still a little bit taxed because I had so much things going on. So yeah, let's just go ahead and jump right back into it. Before I start, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Go catch up on the other videos that I've posted. I did a tour of my last place that I was in, and I also did the part 1 to this video of how I ended up here in Okinawa. So make sure you guys go ahead and give that a view and a like, and share me with one of your friends that may want to move abroad. Yeah, so without further ado, let's get into it. So let's rewind back to September. I had 2 going away parties. One my godmother hosted, and then the other one my mother and my grandmother, they hosted. And it was so beautiful just to be celebrated by my friends and family. Everyone came together, saying really nice things about me. And it's not into those moments where you have a gathering where you realize your influence, your impact, and how much people really do love you. So it was just nice to be able to just sit still for a moment in the midst of all the transition to sit in the gratitude, to sit in the appreciation, and to be sent off with well wishes. And I'm not even gonna lie, y'all. As I was, listening to all these great things and people just kind of like seeing the great things that are on the horizon for me, I experienced a little bit of imposter syndrome because I'm like, whoa, like, you are inspired by me moving to Japan. And, I have an idea of the things that I want to do here, but the vision isn't crystal clear. So I'm like, oh my goodness. I started to like doubt and question, and I'm like, so yeah, after selling my car, that's when it got real for me. I went I went to the Enterprise after selling my car because I needed a rental car because I was in Charlotte. So I lived in Columbia. I sold my car in Charlotte. And it was just so synchronistic because my godmom was like, hey, we can have your going away party for on that Friday. And that was the day I happened to sell my car. So I'm like, oh, okay, everything's working out. So I needed a car to get around, get back to Columbia. So I get to the rental car. So I sold my car, and then I ordered an Uber. It was like $9. I have an MX Gold card, so like they give us like a $10 Uber credit every month. So I was like, okay, well, let's just go ahead and order the Uber Black. It was like $9. I'm like, okay, so I pulled up. I sold my car. The Uber pulled up. It's like a luxury suburban. I'm like, oh, okay, this is nice. And then I'm thinking everything is just like so smooth and perfect, and I get to the Enterprise. Y'all, tell me why it was a 2022 Nissan Versa. I'm not kidding. It was like the base model, and it was just like a instant shock, and it humbled me a lot because I'm like, whoa. And it wasn't because it was the car. It was just the fact that one, the location, you could just tell they were just showing up. They didn't really care too much about the condition of the cars, washing them, vacuuming, all that stuff. And I'm like, wow. Like, one thing about me, I enjoy cleanliness. I like things to be organized. I want my tires to be shiny. I'm not saying they had to do that, but that's just how I roll. So yeah, the parking lot was empty. I saw that car, and it was between like a Mitsubishi Mirage, which is like super tiny. I'm like, wait, I'm not trying to go that small. Like, I know I'm gonna have a small car when I go to Japan, so let's just pump the brakes on the small car. So I settled for the Nissan Versa. You guys, it was so expensive for this one car for a week. So I was like, you know what? It's not something that I'm buying. Just get the car, got it. Had a beautiful time at my going away party. And long story short, I ended up finding another car at Hertz, and I got the car that was a little bit better for half the price. So it was just so smooth and effortless. Was able to switch out my car. And that last week, I just focused on packing. What else did I do? I went to kickboxing 3 times that week, and it was just so amazing. So amazing just to be around my community, to be around family. Columbia, South Carolina. You know, so it's so interesting because before I was like, oh, I'm ready to go. I can't wait to move out of this place. But now that I'm gone and like the days before actually leaving, it was like, wow, you know what? This place isn't so bad. Actually, it's pretty good. So yeah, that was like an interesting perspective or a shift for me. So I ended up going through that entire week, celebrating, releasing, packing. My flight was Monday, September 22nd. I think my first flight left at like 5:30, so I had to be at the airport at like 3 o'clock. My mom's side showed up, like all my siblings on my mother's side and my grandparents. They all came to the airport to send me off, and I'm one of those people where I'm like, oh, no, it's not a big deal. Like, just don't wake up. It's too early. But the fact that they showed up for me and, you know, sent me off with love and good vibes meant the world to me. And yeah, I remember boarding that plane, y'all. It was so interesting to check in my bags, 2 suitcases. And I'm like, whoa, this is all that I have right now. This is it. And just sitting there waiting to board my first flight to Chicago and taking off. Like being in the air, like taking off from South Carolina and being lifted to Chicago, it just felt like, whoa, like you did it. That's when it hit me. I'm like, wow. 5:30 in the morning. I think the sun was just now starting to rise. Maybe it was 6 o'clock, I don't know. And there was like this sense of peace. There was this sense of like, what are you doing, dude? Because like, what? You're moving to Japan? You're moving out of the country? Like all these thoughts just started to come to me. So yeah, got to Chicago, had like a 3-hour layover, found me some food, almost got lost in the airport. I was on the phone with one of my really close friends, and I almost walked out of the airport, like, you know, where TSA is, you know, it says, once you go past this point, you can't return. So if I would have walked out of there, I would have missed my flight to Tokyo. So yeah, that was fun. So yeah, got through all of that and boarded my flight to Tokyo. That was fun. Long flight, took like 15 hours. They had to take another route because I guess some weather was happening. Got to Tokyo. At this point, I'm like so tired, super jet lagged, but things were smooth. There were no delays like the first time I traveled to Japan back in July. Yeah, so it's from Tokyo, straight shot to Okinawa. Got there to, what do you call it? To Okinawa, my brother was waiting on me. And yeah, I think it was like around 10, 11 o'clock, almost close to midnight. And so I went back and I got some rest. And the next day I was going to check into my accommodation. Now this is where the plot twist happens. So I'm thinking everything's smooth. Okay, so I get up the next morning. I'm like, okay, I feel refreshed. I'm back. I'm good. Found me a rental car. That was super smooth. Like all like the signs and the omens that I needed to see were there. So I'm like, oh wow. Japan is welcoming me back with open arms. Like this feels so good. I look at my accommodations because I booked my place like a month before I came back. And I'm like, I didn't receive anything from the people so that they could, let me know how to check in. No Wi-Fi instructions. I'm like, okay, this is new, but maybe I'm just in a foreign country. Maybe they just wanted to make sure, like, hey, I'm not gonna show up early. So, an hour before check-in, nothing. 30 minutes before check-in, I'm like, okay, let me call. So me and my brother looking at each other like, okay, yeah, this is a little odd. So tried to call, no answer. He tried to call because he has a Japanese number. He answered, oh, no, no, no. I don't have access to the property anymore. I'm so sorry. Y'all could imagine. I came all the way here. You have no access to the property anymore. What am I supposed to do? Y'all have my money. I'm in my mind, I'm like, where am I going to stay? All these thoughts just come racing through my mind. And all I could do was just go get food because at this point I'm hungry. I have my car, so I'm like, let me just go get some food. Okay, whatever. And then I come back, and then I call the company that I booked through, and I'm like, hey, I explain my situation, and they act like they didn't want to do anything, and I'm like, okay. So after around 5 hours of going back and forth, they finally were able to find me an accommodation, and that's the place that you guys saw. Well, if you watched the video of the tour, I found that space, or me and the company found that space together. And yeah, it just happened when I let go. I was like, you know what, I'm here. Whatever happens, happens. But I have to give a huge shout out to my brother and my sister in love for looking out for me while I'm here, because they definitely were like, oh yeah, no, like anything you need, I got you, we got you. And so it was just nice to have like that level of support here. Yeah, it was just definitely an interesting experience, y'all. So yeah, like checked into that space, and like that's where the real transformation happened, because I thought I'd let go of all the things that I wanted to bring, that I didn't want to bring before I boarded the flight. But that was only like the first half of it. The first 3 weeks I was here was me letting go, resetting my nervous system, because one of the things that I realized is, once I realized there was mold in my apartment and moving, because I moved that entire apartment by myself, no help, like renting the U-Haul, like loading it. And there was just so many things that happened in between then, like getting the U-Haul, finding out that it didn't have a ramp. And I'm like, okay, so I'm like lifting like a 5-drawer dresser, solid wood by myself. But I'm not even like thinking about how heavy it is or any of that mess, because I'm like, it has to get done. Yeah. So, yeah, I had to deal with my nervous system, because, yeah, I was able to do all of those things, but I still had to pay energetically. So, yeah, I took that the first 2-3 weeks to kind of settle down, and yeah, that's kind of what happened, what went on. Right now, I'm really grateful because I've been connecting with like really great people here. Kind of like I didn't skip a beat from going to coming back. It's like, wow, I never left. So yeah, that's kind of like the part 2 to the first video. Maybe I left some parts out. I'm also water fasting right now, so my mind is kind of like, woo. So yeah, leave me some comments, leave me some questions. If y'all want to know anything, let me know. I've been cooking a lot here. Okay, so that's the thing. I've been cooking a lot here for different people. And they're like, oh, Sasabek, when is the restaurant opening? And before I moved here, I'm like, I don't want to cook anymore. I've done that for like so many years. But I'll always cook for my loved ones. Like, that's different. Like, cooking as a profession and cooking for your loved ones, 2 different ball games. So I don't know. I'm opened up to the idea of possibly having a restaurant or running a restaurant out here. I don't know. We'll see. The plan is still unfolding, but one thing that I have made clear to myself is that I want to help. I want to help people become the best version of themselves through being my best self, because I feel like the best form of advocacy is being the change. And yeah. To be continued, you guys. It's almost 11 o'clock here. I need to, let's see. I have a few things that I'm going to get done today, but just wanted to do a part 2 to this video. Like, comment, subscribe, share, leave me a note, leave me a comment. Thank y'all so much for the positivity. I read all of my DMs. I read all of the comments. I may not be able to respond to all of them, but I read every last one of them, and I appreciate them so much. It means the world. So yeah, see y'all next video.